At some point, we're going to have to stop thinking and believing that other people are the cause for why we feel the way we do, or why we're not doing what we want to do, or other people are preventing us from experiencing something better. It's always you. Always. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina, and I want to share a perspective that came from a comment that I received on one of my videos. I don't remember the specific comment here, so I'll do a voiceover right now.
If you're surrounded by negativity, no matter how hard you will it, joy will be a very difficult thing to achieve. Unless you're saying, I just cut off those people from my life, just leave home, I don't know. I'm familiar with the concept you're trying to suggest. I've studied Eastern philosophy. All there is the moment, all there is the now. But the concept falls apart if the now is forced upon you. For example, the Turpin children, 13 of them I think it was, ages young to 29, locked in the house by their parents, treated very cruelly. Their lack of joy was enforced upon them by their parents. Negative people drain it from you.
And essentially the point that I want to share is this point of, let's put all the innocence aside, okay? So we understand, and I will agree, that there is innocence in this world that has had to endure some very harsh, extreme, unnecessary experiences. What is the greatest purpose of all? We are still to see. But there is innocence in this world that has experienced things that you wouldn't wish on anyone, right? Put that aside for a moment. This is just you and me, someone who has the comfortability and security and stability enough to be on the internet watching a video. We probably have somewhat stable house environments, a job, we have some sort of income, we're able to provide for ourselves. You know, we're surviving, we're making it, okay? We're comfortable. You know, some could say we're the elite in this world because a lot of people don't experience this, so. In the context of you and I, someone who can even express their situation to be not what they want it to be, and for it to feel like something that prevents them from living something, my point would be that ultimately it's your choice to be in that situation. You could move. You could direct yourself in a way where you're not in an environment where you're constantly being influenced by some negativity outside of you. Ultimately, it's your choice. And I know that some people, even comfortable in this system and how it's set up, would say they don't have a choice, but I beg to differ. I feel like you always have a choice. It's what you accept and allow, and it's ultimately what you're willing to do in terms of what needs to be done. Are you willing to do whatever it takes to get yourself in a situation where you're thriving, where you're not being bombarded by other people's traumas and dramas? Can you rise above that and put yourself in a situation that allows you to flourish? Because then you're gonna also be a gift to others and allowing them to flourish. You know, it's that point of, at some point we're gonna have to stop thinking and believing that other people are the cause for why we feel the way we do, or why we're not doing what we want to do, or other people are preventing us from experiencing something better. It's always you, always. And if we can just wrap ourselves within that point, it truly sets us free. Even though it feels like it doesn't, it does. Because when you take responsibility for the fact that I'm putting myself in a situation where I'm surrounded by this negative thing, and I'm just taking it, and I don't like it, and I'm fighting it, and I'm blaming them, and this is fucked up, and I'm just, I could equally spend my time and energy and effort in transforming myself, to move myself, to direct myself, to create a different circumstance. That's what I think. I think that no one is actually subject to negative people or negative influences. Every person in every situation, in the context of their experience, has an opportunity to transform their lives to be what they want it to be. But you have to take responsibility for that you have that power to do that. We have to stop waiting for the world to change. We have to stop, in the beautiful words of John Mayer, okay? We got to stop waiting for the world to change. And we have to stop waiting for other people to give us something. And we have to stop waiting for the perfect condition for us to feel better. We have to just decide, I want to feel better. I don't want to be surrounded by this negativity. It doesn't serve me or you to engage with you because you are problem oriented and not solution oriented. So I'm going to go over here and focus on a solution and focus on my well-being and my peace of mind and my joy. I'll be here if you want to participate, but if not, all good. Like, it's really up to us to make that decision, to be like, it doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. I know what I need and what I want and who I am, and I'm going to just create that here. And if you don't like it, that's okay. But if you do, cool, let's hang out, Like, it's just that point of like, stop giving other people power over you. No one is creating your experience to be what it is. You're not stuck. Nothing's preventing you except for you. You are standing in your own way because you haven't yet taken responsibility, aka you haven't taken your power into your hands to create the life you really want. And so why do we do that? Why do we sabotage ourselves like that? Why do we allow ourselves to say someone else is doing something to me and is preventing me from doing something? Because we fear stepping into a higher version of ourselves. We fear what it will look like if we become a better version of ourselves. I mean, maybe look at what has happened in this world. A lot of people who did a lot of great things didn't have a great ending to their story. And so maybe we fear it. But I do think and prescribe to the idea that we are 100% the author and authority of our life, and we can write it any way we want. And that's the power we have. And so, yeah, it is. It's all within you. It's in your ability and your power to choose who you are in every moment and who you surround yourself with. And it's not to say that anyone is doing something wrong. You find yourself in a situation where you're surrounded by people who aren't really expanding and aren't really seeing their potential and are maybe dwelling in heavier, denser experiences that you don't want to participate in. Well, nothing's stopping you from getting up and removing yourself. You know what I mean? Like, and so again, this is not to say that anyone's doing anything wrong. Everyone's where they're at, and everyone is living who they are according to their circumstances and what happened in this world. And we can forgive and understand and have compassion. But this world is not going to change on the global. We're not going to prevent innocence from being abused until we start stopping our own abuse of our own innocence by suggesting that someone else is doing something to us or preventing us from living. The minute we take responsibility for our life and our reality and our experience, the moment we have the opportunity to help others do that as well and actually heal the world. This greater world picture is a reflection of who each one is on an individual level. And the inherent nature you're allowing that's reflected in the greater world, the greed, the starvation, the neglect, the abuse, that exists on some level inside of you. And if every person can acknowledge that and find a way to, mend that part of ourselves and start feeding ourselves and nourishing ourselves and honoring ourselves and loving ourselves and, trusting ourselves and being our own authority, the minute we start doing that, stop being slaves to other people and ideas and the minute we fucking break free from these limited ways of thinking and being and existing, which are conditions that were imposed on us, the minute we do that, the better equipped we are to help more people in this world do that, and so have the ripple effect that can actually change the world. So yeah, that's my tangent, that's my response. I hope you found value in it. I would love to hear your perspective, any sharings you have on it, any reflections. I would love to hear that. So thanks for listening and walking with, and see you next time.